Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amelia and today we're going to be doing my halfway check-in slash flip through of my reading journal. I'm using this little Ferris Wheel Press square journal, which I really love. I've been using these for 3 years now. And yeah, I suppose we should just go ahead and honestly, let's just jump straight into it. Alright friends, welcome to my reading journal flip through for the first half of 2025. It's been a while since I made a reading journal video, but I am back to show you what I've been up to so far. We are of course in this Ferris Wheel Press, you can kind of see the embossed logo there, square journal, which I've been using for the last 3 years and really loving. So we'll just go ahead and get started, I guess. My beginning of the year setup I did show, so you can check that out if you haven't seen that already, but I have not been doing monthly setups this year. I don't know, it just hasn't felt like something that I wanted to do or that would add that much to my channel, but if you want to see them again, go ahead and let me know. I'm always willing to reconsider. But we're just going to relatively quickly go through these first few pages. I haven't changed too much in the TBR book bingo space. I made a list of book bingo prompts, but I don't know where I put it, so I haven't actually filled any of this out, although I'm pretty sure I have got several of those already. And then I have crossed off a couple of things on my TBR. It's a little hard to see, but I used like a silver. Alright, we have our series tracker. I've made a lot of progress in here, and actually I need to fill in one more square here. But I think everything else, oh, and some dungeon crawler. So not entirely up to date. There are a few things you'll see in this flip through that aren't totally up to date. So for this, for example, as well, I need to still finish these. And I do already know my July theme, so I can fill that in as well. And I was originally trying to catch it all the way up before I showed you guys, but I thought it would be more realistic to just show you where I'm actually at in this halfway mark instead of just trying to fill it all the way in. But I did try to catch up enough that it would be representative. So here we have my books read. This year I have been putting them all in like a document that has these arches in it. It might be a little bit hard to see, but this is just printer paper, and then I printed out the whole sheet at once. It makes it a lot easier. You don't have to try to cut these arches. I like it, but I do think it looks a little bit boring, and I want to add some sort of detail, and I'm not sure what that would be yet though. I have actually got about like halfway through this page as well. You probably can't see it, but I have the titles written out in pencil, so when I fill the page in, I'll print out another one, but because I'm printing the whole sheet at a time, I have to get a whole page first. So I've repped quite a few spaces here, although I think this was originally supposed to be a book spot tracker. It hasn't happened yet. I think I could probably still figure out everything I bought this year, but I don't know. Maybe I'll add that. Then we get into the first things that are actually like kind of filled out. These are my monthly recaps. So essentially the information I have here is like a little picture that I kind of felt like represented either a specific favorite book from that month or like the overall vibe from that month. So we have like sci-fi in January, we got Mistborn for February. Then we have the average star rating. We have my favorite book and its rating. We have a little bar chart of pages read, and it's compared to the previous 3 years of data as well. I kind of messed up the printing of these because I did originally have a legend telling you which year was which, but I'm pretty sure blue was green? No, okay, now I have no idea which year is okay. Green is 2025, I think. You know what? Oh well. Then we have the amount of pages plus or minus from last year, the number of pages total, the number of books. We have a little tree chart of genre distribution, a quote from either my favorite book or just one that I really liked, and then just a really quick summary of the vibe of the reading month. So all of these are going to be following that format. I will just go through the rest So February, favorite book, Mistborn. Did a little Mistborn drawing, very much just from the newer covers. March, I don't really remember why I chose the like gothic kind of window for March. Oh, hi, Mimi. April, not quite done. I did make also a mistake printing these for this one. Another mistake, I made them too wide. What can you do? I decided I didn't care enough to go back and fix them, so they just are the way that they are now. And then I also switched to using stamps here, and I think it looks a lot better. May, totally filled in. June, I need to think of something for here, but other than that, it is filled in. Oh, I just need to add the stars here as well. But those are all the ones that are set up now. These are just the blank pages for the second half of the year. And then we get into the monthly spreads. So January, we have it's just kind of like retro theme was the vibe. If you hear yelling, Mimi thinks it's dinner time, but actually she still has like 45 minutes until her dinner time. So bear with me, I am also going to be suffering. Anyway, oh no, don't jump up here. No. Okay, we might have an invader on our hands. Anyway, January, I really like this theme. I feel like it had enough elements that you could like pull little bits to incorporate into the book spreads without it having to be like a whole ordeal to make the spreads. Sometimes I go too hard with a theme and then it makes it very difficult to actually do the spreads because they're very time consuming. And I read a lot in January, so I was very glad that I had a relatively simple theme. I was mostly just pulling the main colors, and yeah. Then we have March. It used a lot of black, so I have to sort of keep this piece of paper in here to keep it from spreading, but you can kind of see that it already did. But the theme was like medieval manuscript, kind of, with like the illuminated F. And I really like how the F specifically turned out. The overall vibe of the page is good, but I do feel like this part is like, could be better, but I do like it. We'll stick our little protector back in there. Also, I did some sort of page tracking or math on the back of here. So we've got our pages read as usual. I don't know if I mentioned that. Usually up until July, where I changed my mind, I have pages read, a title page, and a TBR page. And then we get into the books. This month I also read Mistborn, so I did like a combined spread because I read all three of them one after the other. So I put all of them in my ratings here, and then just wrote a lot because it was about all three books. Sometimes I don't have much to say, and that's when I'll do a split page like this. You can see this is like a relatively short paragraph. Or sometimes I will do like a bigger decoration or bigger title just to like take up space if I don't have as much to say and I want to do something more aesthetic. I did forget to do a bunch of erasing here, as you can see. And then March, I did the I feel like this is like a classic reading journal sort of theme, like the, I don't know what you call it, like scrapbooky kind of theme. And, you know, those are fun to do once in a while. I also got like a book of stickers, so it was a good excuse to use them, as well as some of the washi tapes that I've had hanging around. I use a cannibalized copy of The Hobbit for my pages. I've been using it for a while, and it's still got quite a bit to go. This is also a really easy one for setting up the pages quickly, because you don't really have to draw much, you just have to decide where the elements go. And it's kind of like a different challenge from usual where it's like, oh, how well can I draw something? Here it's more of like, what's the layout vibe? And I was trying to choose stickers that kind of went with the theme of the books, which is fun, although it makes it more difficult to write in a straight line, but I still really like it. And of course I happened to read The Hobbit this month, which worked out perfectly for like the book for the book scraps, because I could use the actual title. It was perfect. Read quite a bit this month as well. And then we are into April. Was going for like a geometric garden kind of vibe with my little friend the snail here. This was actually inspired by something that I did for work. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to copy that for myself. Again. I love the little snail though, he's so fun. And I really like the way these colors look together. They're very satisfying. Not too many entries in this month. Big one is Navigator's Children, which I wrote a decent amount about. I don't really know what to do with this page. It's blank because I only read 3 books, so there's no book for it. But also I didn't finish this either. I wrote the rating there, but I haven't actually put it in yet. But on the next side is May, so I don't really know if I should put anything there or not. Maybe just some decoration if I feel like coming back to it. Oh, we have another cat on the desk. All right, Gemma. All right, then we're at May. I'm pretty sure I was pretty far behind at this point, so I just went with a theme that was very simple. So we got rainbow lines. Can't get much more simple than that with a high contrast type of font. Oh, my cat is climbing into my lap. Gemma, why don't you say hi to the people? Hello. Yeah, they're very convinced that it's dinner time. It is not. Alright. So here's an example of, something I haven't quite finished. I am planning to come back to this. I'm pretty sure this is the only review that I haven't written out yet. I think I finished the rest of them. That is one I'm coming back to. Not much to say about this month, really. It was very simple, but sometimes, like I said earlier, simpler can be better because it just lets you catch up and takes some of the, I don't know, sometimes it feels like work to keep up with it if you make a theme that's really complicated. And I don't know, I want this to be fun and not hard so yeah, I usually do somewhat similar layouts. So this is a common one where I'll have a third that's the title and then writing. This is also a common one where I divide it in half and do 2 columns. And as you would have seen earlier, let me see if I can find one. This is also a really common one. So these are probably the main 3 sort of layouts that you'll see me use, which definitely go ahead and steal that for yourself if you're using a square journal. It makes it easy to have some sort of typical ones that you can fall back on. All right, then we were in June, which I was very inspired to do an Art Nouveau theme, which is a little bit more involved after I've just been saying that I like it to be simple because it's easier to keep up with. You are seeing Gemma's tail currently. I will make sure it does not get in the candle. But this is something that I've had a problem with a lot is I keep making these TBR pages and at the end of the month they're blank. So I just go back and write the books that I already read in there. And so actually for July, I gave up on the TBR pages. I'm not doing them anymore because I never fill them in. I usually just end up reading either whatever I feel like 100% sort of just move reading, or something comes in from the library and I'm like, well, I have to read it now. I have so many holds that I've delayed time and time again because I just either have other holds out or I'm not in the mood for. So yeah, we're ditching the TBR page. I don't need it. I don't use it. And that's the great thing about doing a reading journal that you totally set up yourself is as you're going, if you realize there's something that you don't need, you don't use, isn't serving you, you can just cut it and you can just as easily add in something new if there's something new that you think would serve you better. So anyway, this is June. I did not remember that I hadn't filled in my pages read yet, so I do need to go back and do this. But I liked the way a lot of the themes turned out this month. I tried to go relatively simple with the decoration, but I really leaned into it with this font that was supposed to be kind of Art Nouveau inspired. Doing custom fonts like this, well, they're not custom, they're fonts from the internet usually, but tracing them out and then filling them in takes a lot of time, so just be aware of that if you're planning to do some fancy fonts. It can be good to just do stuff like this where I use the stamp. That saves so much time, and if you have a smaller spot for the title, it works a lot better. So yeah, here's a perfect example. You can see all 3 of my most common spreads setups for book reviews. I don't know why I could not think of what to call that. And still just need to finish the decorations on these ones, but they are sketched in. I just actually have to do it, which, sometimes takes a while. And sometimes I also include a quote if I feel like it. That's also a good way if you feel like you don't have a ton to say, but you have a quote that you thought was kind of interesting. You can put that in there. It takes up some space. And then we have the final spread that is currently set up, which is for July. I wanted to do like a strawberry theme, so I've also gone for like a little bit of like a picnicky background. And these ones, I glued these ones in because I drew the background and then realized that I had to draw the strawberries on top and it would look weird. So I put them on top, but I actually kind of like it. It kind of gives a sticker vibe. But for these ones, I just drew them straight on. And I tried to draw a flower, but then you like couldn't see it against the background, so I tried to outline it. And now I just don't like it. But yeah, it's fine. That, I believe, is the last. Oh, I did start to set up one book. I ran out of space for the title, so I just switched to cursive at the end. But yeah, that is the end of everything that I have set up so far in my 2025 reading journal. In terms of my like thoughts for the rest of the year, I think I want to try to include some pages that are like different from just like the monthly pages and the book pages, like the review pages, like specific for like events or like themed reading. But like I haven't done really a lot of that, so that is also kind of why I haven't got any of those pages. But I think it would be fun to do like either like a 24-hour reading challenge or a specific theme, and then do a page specific to that readathon. I think that would be a way to add like memory keeping to this journal, because obviously it's keeping like the memories of the books I read, but I would like to be able to include pages that also sort of capture the memories of like the time in my life and the experiences I was having when I was reading those books. So I would like to try to incorporate some of those moving forward, but still working out exactly how, other than like readathon, reading event type pages, as those don't always come up that often. But I think overall, I'm pretty happy with my reading journal so far this year. I don't think any of the themes have been complete duds. Some I like better than others, of course, but overall, I've kept up better than a lot of previous years, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I think that is probably all that I have to say. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it. Alright, I hope you have enjoyed flipping through my reading journal with me. I know I said I haven't been doing the monthly setups, and unless I think of some way to make them, I think, new and exciting, I'm probably not going to do them. But if you want some other kind of reading journal content, feel free to let me know in the comments. I am open to sharing more with you guys. I just don't find making the monthly ones super interesting. So yeah, this is my reading journal so far for the year 2025. I am really enjoying it, and I feel like I might finish all of the pages. Like I am up to like here. So I think that's maybe like halfway through the actual pages. It looks like more because there's stuff like glued into it, but I think it's, if I look at the signatures, okay, we are a little bit over halfway, so I might have to use the pages a little bit more sparingly, but it might actually be the first journal that I fill in from cover to cover, which is very exciting. But anyway, I think that is all that I have for you today, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.